Can you release your AI music through the distribution platforms like DistroKid, specifically DistroKid? Haven't people been having problems? Let's just go ahead and talk about that. A lot of people have been making claims on the different Facebook groups about how DistroKid has been taking their music down and why, and whether you're allowed. Like, this constantly comes up if you're allowed to post AI music to the different platforms. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. So firstly, per the terms of service, there's nothing limiting DistroKid from pushing out your music to the different streaming platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. However, if DistroKid gets instructions from the platforms like Apple Music and Spotify, they're going to pull this stuff down. Now, the response that people have gotten is specifically around things being taken down for impersonating specific artists or copying things, stuff that gets taken down for anybody, right? If there's been a traditional artist that's basically pretending to be someone else or is basically blatantly stealing a song and claiming it to be their own, DistroKid will have that removed because Spotify is going to say you can't play these. And my understanding, and I've read about this a little bit, once you're taken down from DistroKid because the platforms themselves are complaining that you're posting copyrighted material, whatever, you're done. Now let's talk about who DistroKid is, or who they are. DistroKid, I guess, aren't the ones that make decisions over what gets what's legal to be published and all that stuff. They're basically just a distribution platform. So YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, different platforms. There's a whole bunch of them. I'll bring them up here. I'll show them here. All depend on platforms. You can't post to Spotify directly. You have to use a distribution platform. So they aren't the ones that are making laws about what can be done. They're not the ones that are making copyright decisions on what's copyrightable or whether you can do AI music or not. If Spotify is happy to have static and they want different varied forms of static, DistroKid's going to be like, yeah, okay, if that's what you want, if people want to upload static, then we'll go. They don't make those decisions. Apple has recently added a little provisor. If you're trying to upload and you take the thing for Apple Music is going to go, okay, put in your claim of what exactly you contributed to this song and a human element, and we'll let you publish. In other words, Apple don't really want you to publish something that if you pushed a button and said generate a song, they don't want you to publish that. There's nothing illegal about it, but that seems to be a way that Apple's getting around it. And no one else has sort of followed suit, but they might. Now, the question was posed directly to DistroKid. I enjoy reaching out to software platforms and things like that, but it was already done. Someone on Facebook posted the question to DistroKid. Hey DistroKid, just had a quick question for you. Are you allowed to upload music created with AI? Just wanted to see if there's any specific policy regarding AI music and AI music generators. Thanks. And again, from my opinion, DistroKid's going to take whatever the platforms grasp. But here's their answer. Hey there, thanks for reaching out. I'm happy to help. You may upload music containing AI-generated elements as long as those elements are not being used to impersonate other artists' likeness without their permission. This also means you cannot use an AI artist's name unless that artist provides written permission to do so. So yes, you can upload music made with AI onto DistroKid. Now, this thing would have come through lawyers, right? And I want to tell you why. It says you can upload music containing AI-generated elements. So they want to leave room in there for what's going through the Copyright Office right now, which is the U.S. Copyright Office is basically saying they're trying to work with AI artists right now. One of the things they're saying is you can't copyright something made completely with AI. There has to be some sort of human element involved in that, and you can copyright that human element. Even if AI enhances that human element, you can protect that. So they're basically not saying you can't do it. They're basically they don't want to get themselves stuck. Like in the future, it's like, but you said all AI music, or you said AI music. They're saying AI-generated elements, as long as those elements are not being used to impersonate. So containing AI-generated elements. So they're not directly saying a complete AI song can be up there, but they're not really saying you're not, but they're also not going to be locked down to saying that when right now that's going through. Great. And if you like my content, subscribe below. The more subscribers I get and the more comments, the more buzz there is around this channel. I'm starting to do things like podcasts and interviews, and I can get some really big players on this video or into these videos if I have a lot of following. But the only thing I'm focused on to get there is to benefit the AI community, the AI music community. And please take note of the charity I support, the John Fawcett Foundation. John Fawcett Foundation goes out to remote villages in Indonesia, does cataract surgery. It's really life-changing. It's life-improving. If you can donate either on my website, and I can track the donations that are done through this, or go to John Fawcett Foundation website there and do a donation. I'd be happy either way. The only difference is if you track through my site, I can directly acknowledge you if you've done it, and I can track those things. So go ahead and do that if you have time. It's a great charity. So let's just talk a little bit about what's going through the Copyright Office at the moment. According to copyright lawyers and some of the things that I've seen out there at the moment, what they're saying is exactly what I said before. The Copyright Office is like, okay, well, we want to know how exactly you play to do that. And there's back and forth going. Right now, you can I know this is not going to fit the agenda of traditional artists and they don't want to hear this, but you can copyright an AI song as long as you can't copy the song as an entire, you can copy the elements in it. So if you were to create a riff, right, like you could even create a beat, right? And if that beat, this isn't legal advice, I just want to say as well. And the thing is, like, this could change tomorrow, or it maybe already changed today and I haven't even read the news. Something I'm trying to follow very closely. You could take a pencil and make a beat on your desk, right? You can copyright that beat. Even if AI takes that beat and turns it into actual drums, that beat is yours. You created that beat. You publish it out in the world, right? And actually, once you publish it, there's already a little bit of protection around it, but you can literally, you can't copyright the rest of the song, possibly, as to my understanding. But anyway, this will take us back to DistroKid. So DistroKid isn't saying that you're not allowed to publish AI music. I just want to make that clear. And the reason I want to do this video is because there's a lot of claims to the contrary. I think there's a lot of traditional musics or just trolls out there in general that are trying to get you under your skin, make you doubt that it's okay to do. And this is asked every single day. Can I publish AI music? And then people will come in and say, no, you can't, or this is a joke, or whatever it is. I think a lot of it is to make you feel uncomfortable with doing it. DistroKid has no problem with it. Spotify has no problem with it. And I believe you should be able to do it. Now, this being said, it's still a risk. Like, the Copyright Office could come out tomorrow and say, all AI music is stolen. DistroKid, you need to take everything down, and they could have checks in place. And like a lot of people are saying, if you don't think that there got scanners out there that can find AI music and take it down, but yeah, and at the end of the day, like, even if those scanners are finding components of AI, like I said, you can still copyright components of it. But anyway, if you don't want to risk all that, there's other platforms you can go to. YouTube doesn't care. There's a ton of stuff. If YouTube were to take down AI content, YouTube would be gone tonight. It's too far in. 99% of it, this is a made up stat, but most things in YouTube right now have some sort of AI component to it. So you post your music up to AI, your AI music, as long as it's yours, you haven't gone out to copy someone directly or take someone else's beats and put it into Suno and made your own song. It's just basically your stuff. YouTube doesn't care. So you can do things like, you can still publish and you can still possibly make money off of it. It's just, you might have to go to other sort of means. So you can publish onto YouTube, and in the link in the description, you can link to things like Gumroad or Bandcamp, and then people can go there and purchase those. A lot of that would have to do with if you're making background checks, if you're making background sounds for things like learning videos, or in the background, like, anyway, like, just be creative. But you can do that. You can sell those tracks on your own. They're not streaming platforms. You can publish to Flare AI Radio and get a bit of attention to yourself. You can post your stuff to mine at aidiy.tech/contact, and I can do a feature of your thing. There's ways to get it out there. And then, you might ask me to link to your Bandcamp, which I'm happy to do, or your Gumroad. Check out Gumroad. I haven't checked into it. I sort of looked into it a little bit. That looks like another possible thing. So there's other ways to publish, If it is a real concern of you that one day this might all change, maybe do like an investment and spread out your bets, right? Don't put it all on Spotify through DistroKid. Don't put it all on Bandcamp. Spread it out a little bit. Anyway, that's my take on things. I think if people that have been in here for 20, 30 years doing traditional music, this is just what they deal with. We're not used to dealing with this. Stay tuned for the next video, and thanks for tuning in.